Hey everybody, this video is going to be about what it means to practice what you preach. And I think this is a very important video. Of course, it's something that's been beaten into people's minds for a long time, to practice what you preach. And the reason why I wanted this to be the first video of my channel, The Voice of Life, is because I expect that after making this video, everything that I'm going to speak on afterwards is going to be based off this very basic principle of actually practicing what I'm preaching. So that means I'm not going to speak on anything that I'm not currently doing or plan on doing, which for the most part, it's better to speak on things that you've actually done, right? At least when I say speaking out loud into the universe, into the masses, right? Like, you haven't done something, speak to yourself, right? If you're going to preach on something or speak about actions done or that you're going to do, or it'd be better if you speak to the public about things that you've actually done, because one, it gives you some accreditation, right? It gives you some validation to the people that you've actually done it, right? Also, you don't want to be somebody that just is known for speaking and not doing. And even more harshly sometimes, speaking and then attempting and not completing, right? You're going to get that backlash. Now, whether you care or not is totally up to you, but you might as well speak on things that you've actually done, because that's something that nobody can take away from you. Also, your own consciousness will feel a lot better about it. You know, having that sense of completion when you speak on something, it'll give you that extra bit of confidence when you're speaking about it, right? Like, for instance, I've done door-to-door sales. Was I super successful? Not really, not my thing. but I've done it. So I can confidently speak on what it takes. And I've done it for a good year, right? I've been through the ups and downs, sold in the summertime, sold in the winter time, and everything in between, right? So I can confidently speak on like what it would take to take on something like that, like door-to-door sales. Now, of course, being in a specific city or market or climate will have its different effects, but for the most part, doing door-to-door sales is going to be the same. Like, you're embracing rejection every single door that you hit. You're learning how to overcome obstacles. You're learning about the sales cycle, right? You're meeting new people, so you're creating skills or developing your skills in communications directly, and that's tested at every single door, right? So there's great things about door-to-door sales, and that was my first sales experience. On top of that, it was solar, which is one of the more difficult sales climates to get into. And difficult, I don't mean saying as if like, oh, you should run away from it, but it's a challenge. You know, you're improving somebody's home. It's not like you're selling vacuums at the door, right? You're trying to persuade people to put these huge systems on top of their roof, right? And that comes with a lot to think about. But yeah, I can confidently speak on like what it takes to get into it and shit like that, because I've done it. Now, if I was like, well, door-to-door sales, you know, it requires this, and I've never done it before, I'm just kind of like, you know, speaking half-heartedly about it, it'll be felt, right? But I can speak firsthand about it. I know how difficult it is, right? I know the challenges, you know, mentally, which are the biggest, more than anything else, more than physically, mentally, the challenges of doing door-to-door sales, right? Being tested again at every single door, stepping into new neighborhoods you've never been in before, learning about maybe a city that you grew up in or grew up around, really knowing it more intimately, right? Creating an image and a brand for yourself, learning how to actually farm a neighborhood and your clients and whatnot, building rapport, right? Building connections, building referrals, things like that. So there's a lot to it. But practicing what you preach truly is a saying that benefits the preacher more than the person or the people being preached to, right? It's essentially you're teaching when you're practicing what you preach. Well, when you're preaching, you're teaching, right? But it solidifies the things that you're also learning. You know, Like when it means to practice what you preach, like for me, it took a while for me to even make this first video, right? I've had it in my heart to want to create a video for this channel and keep going from there. I have a long list of things that I want to speak on, but this is the first one. I think it's a great start. Practice what I'm practicing, literally what I'm preaching right now. As far as me practicing is making this video and me preaching the fact that I'm going to give these lessons about life that I've learned, right? If I'm going to say that I'm going to practice what I preach, then I have to start this video because I said I was going to do it. And I can't be telling people to practice what they preach if I'm not even practicing what I'm preaching. I know it's redundant, but you get what I'm saying? Me making this video is me practicing the fact that I'm telling y'all to practice what you preach. So I know this is very roundabout. It's not a super complicated thing, but it's more so just like, before you say what you're going to do it first. And again, when I say it out to the world. Before you speak to the world about what you're going to do it in the world first. And then speak on what you've done. So now you have experiences to back up what you've done. It all helps out. So yeah, like I've kind of hinted at, well, this is my channel here, The Voice of Life. I'm just going to be speaking on different topics about life that I feel like I've learned, gained wisdom over, which in my opinion, wisdom, to separate wisdom from knowledge. Wisdom is gathering information, or knowledge is gathering information. Wisdom is applying that information to experiences. That's true wisdom. So you can gain all the knowledge of the world, and sometimes it can be confused for wisdom. But gathering knowledge is one thing. Actually applying it is another, right? And that will equal wisdom. So the more knowledge you gain and the more application you put to it, the more wisdom you'll gain on top of that as well. So that's just going to be a little bit about what this channel is about, wisdom and life experiences. So stick around. Talk to y'all soon.